done.
You already got it? Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
All right, we'll call this August 18th, 2025 meeting of the Momare Town Council to order. All members are present. I'd like to welcome everyone who is in attendance. We have a full room, which I love to see. We will move on to our consent agenda, which is approval of last month's minutes, approval of finance reports, and we have one budget.
So moved.
I second.
Any further discussion? All in favor of approval of the consent agenda, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, consent agenda approved. Public comment section. Have any there, Sheila?
Yes, sir, we do. You have one gentleman that would like to speak.
All right.
Mr. Kirby Key.
Kirk.
I
Yes, ma'am.
received a letter pertaining to the trash service, and we filled it out, of course, we sent it in, and then I come to find out that it's not approved. According to the way the letter read, it was a done deal, and it was just a matter of when they were gonna deliver the trash cans to your house. And I think that it was disingenuous as far as the way the letter was written and sent out. Because I guarantee you could talk to any people that you want to that got that letter and they're thinking that it's a done deal. And to find out that it has not been approved. Now, I'm not against it. I'm neutral. Great, if you want to do it, great if you don't. I'm not going to do away with the county service because I have other things that I need to go there for. But I think that the letter could have been written more of we're exploring the viability of this or something of that nature instead of it, fill out the form and send it in so that we can deliver the trash cans to you. That's in essence what it was indicating. And again, not for it, not against it. If it's what the town wants, great. If it's not, that's great too. But I think that was just misleading. That's my comment. And I have another appointment, so I have to leave.
Thank you, Kirk.
Thank you, Kirby. Have a good day.
No other, Sheila? All right, Mr. Jackson with a fire report.
All right, for the month of July, the fire, they had 9 fire calls. They had 15 assist other stations. They had 14 rescue calls and 12 first responder calls. They had a total of 50 calls for the month. And as far as I know, all the equipment's up and running. If anybody's got any questions, I'll answer.
It's all right. Can I
What's
still
the
try to
difference
get it?
between a rescue call and a first responder call?
First responder, they go out on anything. A rescue call is normal, Georgia, Jolene make it help. On that definition, but
Rescue is Rex or something like that. First responders is anybody in the area of the fire department. Like this morning, they had one in the trailer park. Somebody was sick. So it's more of sick, stuff like that.
Medical.
No.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
thank you, Caroline.
Thank you, bud. On to council reports. I'll say first, Ms. Martha is up for audit this quarter.
Right, call meeting is tomorrow night.
Other reports? All right, at this point, I'd like to recognize Brian Edwards. He has spoken to the Middle East Commission and would like to give us some update.
All right, so I did, reached out to, Joshua Hollis, he's the planner of the Meetings Commission, to get a phone introduction, because I hadn't had the opportunity to meet with him or talk with him. During that conversation, he, asked me when our next meeting was, and at that time, our next tentative meeting for the planning board was set for July 29th at 7 p.m. And that was dependent on, the rough draft being completed. During that conversation, he stated that he had several projects, so he was pretty loaded up, that he would be working, to get the rough draft done. He wouldn't have it done for the July meeting. He said he would try to shoot for the August meeting, and he was gonna try to have it completed by August 5th. Touched back with him, I think on August 6th, and he was still hoping that he could get it done by August 13th, but later came back and responded to me and said due to all of what he had on his plate that he would not have it ready, and it would be an undetermined date for it to be completed. So I've got that, and I've got two other things I'd like to bring up, if that's okay.
Sure.
I think this is one thing that's on the agenda today, but I had reached out to Sheila, because I know in the past when we've done some of the training that's offered by UNC School of Government. I know in the past we watched the training put on by David Owens and Adam Lovelady that they produced. Basically, there's a training on zoning, all the things that go along with having hearings, just a real broad, it has multiple modules. So I mentioned it to Sheila that it would be good to get our new members to be able to watch that, and also for the current members to go through and just get a refresher on zoning and the procedures and all. So that's that. I've had some time to think, put some thought to the article that was in the newspaper back on June 19th. So I put together a statement here for myself, and I'm speaking on behalf of the planning board. I would like to take a moment as chairman of the planning board to address some misguided characterizations made in a recent article published in the June 19th edition of the National Graphic regarding the planning board. The article stated there was discord between Mayor Funderburg and the planning board. That statement is false, and here's why. At the planning board meeting on April 29th, Mayor Funderburg attended and participated in a productive and respectful discussion with the board. We covered a variety of topics, including current legislation being considered by the North Carolina legislation that could affect local municipalities. We also discussed feedback on the draft version of the updated town ordinance, which is being prepared by the Mid-East Commission. So I encourage everyone, all, to view the April 29th planning board meeting on the town of Momar's YouTube channel to see for themselves the positive and respectful interaction that took place. Now regarding another claim in the article, that the town ordinance has not been updated since 1987. This is factually incorrect. First, the town of Momar was not incorporated until 1991. The original zoning ordinance was adopted on January 7th, 1992 and consisted of 49 pages. In August of 2003, the planning board was tasked with updating the 1992 zoning ordinance and developing both a hazard mitigation plan and a land development plan. To assist in this effort, the town council contracted with the Upper Coastal Plains Council of Governments. From November 2003 through May of 2010, the planning board worked diligently to review and refine the hazard mitigation plan, land development plan, and the draft of a new ordinance, all while continuing to carry out our regular responsibilities such as reviewing plats. Throughout this process, we were supported by professionals including Dennis Patton and later Wyatt McGee, who regularly attended meetings to answer questions and to guide us through the review and development process. The updated ordinance was sent to the town council in June of 2010. The town council went through their review of the ordinance and returning sections to the planning board with sections to be reviewed, discussed, and revised, and then finalized and resubmitted to the town council. The ordinance was officially adopted in early 2012. 3 current planning board members, Colleen Parker, Ira Winston, and Brian Edwards, were involved in this process. The ordinance was updated again in 2014 in response to new requirements established by the North Carolina legislation under chapters 160A and 160B. Considering this history, the claim that the ordinance has not been updated since 1987 is clearly incorrect. Our records and the commitment of current and former board members demonstrate an ongoing effort to keep the ordinance current and aligned with local and state requirements. Lastly, I want to affirm that this planning board remains committed to conducting a thorough review of the next rough draft of the zoning ordinance. We will take the time needed to ensure it reflects the needs and values of the town of Momire. Thank you again, Planning Board Chairman Brian Edwards.
Brian, if you give me a copy of that, I will, attempt to rectify stuff.
Can you give me a copy of the record?
Thanks for that, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
I'm fine with the newspaper being here, but I do want things to be correct and factual when we put things in the newspaper.
I do the best I can.
I know, and we're all human, and we don't get everything right. I don't get everything right every day, but I want to make sure.
Sometimes other people's opinions vary too. I mean, and how they.
Well, the main thing is we're here to work together.
Right.
Okay, we're not all going to agree on everything that we come up with.
Nobody does.
No, nobody is. But the goal is, I think at the end of the day, to do what is right and valuable for the town of Momire and its citizens. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Brian. While she's putting that, I will say, as far as Mideast and timeframe is concerned, we've told him multiple times, we'd rather have it right than fast. And so,
I know last time we did it from 2003 to 2010, we were starting from a simple, basic ordinance. And a lot of laws had changed by 2003, so we had a lot of things to get in place. Hazard mitigation, land development plan, just the zoning ordinance itself with, you had to have definitions. So, there's a lot of things to go through. And Colleen can account to this. We spent a lot of hours around this table right here, and even the table across at the fire department, discussing these things. And the purpose of having the COG here was they knew the legal mindset because of the laws. And, there were some things that we thought about, and they're like, well, we can't do that because of these laws and procedures that are noted in the general statute. So, it's going to take some time. It may be quick this time, but it may take a little longer than we expect. So,
and there's quite a few things that have changed legally even since it was done the last time.
Right.
That we're gonna have to, thread the needle on that kind of stuff. So it'll be a process.
so thank you for allowing me to present.
Much appreciated, Brian. All right, Sheila, are you ready for correspondence?
Yes, sir. Okay, permits and inquiries for this, since our last meeting. Historical NC Reynolds came in and got their building permits issued for the 2 lots that are up here right beside Old County Home Road. I got a septic repair permit, it was issued by Will, and I paid the bill for the permit, so it'll be that question. Some citizens came in and inquired about the lot side and road frontage ordinances. And I gave them all a copy of the additional standards. I had a couple of complaints, this month. One was the property at 276 Trestle Loop Road. There was a bunch of trash and stuff in the yards. I had 2 complaints. I personally called and spoke to the owner of the property, and they assured me that they would have it taken care of and get it cleaned up. I meant to go by there this morning, but I was late. I had some stuff going on at my house this morning. But I do plan on going by there this afternoon at lunch or when I get off to see if it's been cleaned up, because he told me he would try to have it done by the end of the week, last week. Then I had some complaints, our usual complaint place, at the mobile home court. And I wrote down everything that the lady complained about. And she told me that the only thing that she really would like was for the mayor and all of the town council members to take the time to drive through there and see exactly what was going on, and if there's anything that the town could do about it, she would appreciate them taking care of it for her. That's all I have.
Anything on the correspondence? Nope. Then on to our new business. We have Ben Farmer here from Upper Coastal Plains, and he has a presentation and some Q&A time for us.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor.
Fire
Good morning, my name is Ben Farmer. I'm the planning director at the Upper Coastal Plain Council of Governments. Some of you might have seen this before, but I'm going to pass down our most recent annual report. We're going to update that pretty soon. We'll make sure Martha gets the most recent. And Sheila, I've got some for you too. But that just tells you a little bit about who we are, and I won't get into it too much right now, but we have the Area Agency on Aging, which you may be familiar with. They serve the 5 counties, Edgecombe, Halifax, Nash, Northampton, and Wilson. We also have the Turning Point Workforce Development Board is under our umbrella. And then there's
Very good.
absolutely, yeah, very good program. They're based in Rocky Mount, but they serve the same 5 counties, and we're basically their fiscal agent. And then there's the planning department, which is my department. And it sounds like y'all have some history working with us, which is great. Dennis is still around, one of our contractors. Things have changed since you last worked with us in 2010. The reason you're working with Mideast Commission now, they're the college to the east of us, is we don't do as much of that type of planning anymore, but as a service to our member governments, we make sure if you have that need, if another college does it, we'll basically give them permission to work in our region. So that's what's happening here. And Mideast Commission is very good. And I think it'll be faster this time because it's part of they call it their model ordinance update. So they have probably about 10 of their own towns working under this program, and about 4, probably 5 of our towns who can take the model ordinance and then they'll tailor it to your specific needs. So I just wanted to say I think it's a great thing that you guys are working with them on that. In the planning department, we have both local and regional projects. So the regional projects are usually a lot of times they're grant funded. Local food systems projects and economic development studies. We have a big comprehensive economic development plan. We're doing some regional urban forestry projects. We actually recently worked with April Baker at A Touch of the Father's Love, and created a tree planting plan for her because she was interested in some edible trees. So that's all part of our regional projects. And then those are pretty flexible. And then there's the local projects, which are more direct service to a member. For example, if you received a water and sewer grant and there was an administration line item, we could administer that grant for you, and that's one of our local projects. We do quite a bit of that. Not as much in Nash County. A lot of the Nash County towns have staff or the county might help them, but we're always open to do grant administration and grant writing as well. And one of the reasons that Sheila asked us to present, and I'm sorry Betsy couldn't be here today, but was an idea about sidewalk projects. And that's another area we don't have a lot of experience in, but Sheila, I know I referred you to, it was Jennifer Roman at the Upper Coastal Plain Rural Planning Organization. So they used to be part of the COG, that's why the names are so similar. But the Upper Coastal Plain RPO, which I'm sure you're familiar with, used to be part of Nash County. Now it's at the city of Wilson, so it gets a little confusing. But it sounds like Jennifer did follow up with you.
Oh, yeah, she was great, thank you.
And is she gonna make sure that Momire has a seat on their advisory committee?
She did, I had
Okay.
the adoption form in her.
So at this point, on the sidewalks, my best recommendation is to continue connecting with Jennifer at the RPO. And we can stand by to help you guys write any grant if there's an opportunity, that she might be able to as well. So we'll find a way to add value. We don't wanna try to recreate the wheel. So in this case, there's a local expert who knows sidewalks and streets. Go to her first, and we'll stand by to help you when the time is right. Sheila also mentioned streetlights, which I believe would be sort of in the same territory, but that's another interesting topic area that I'd love to hear more about, what your plans are for streetlights. Internet hotspots, and then parks and pavilions. So a little bit of information about internet hotspots. I know that Nash Community College has a digital navigator. I believe a cooperative extension in Nash and Edgecombe County do as well. And we have a program at the Upper Coastal Plain College right now that works with the community colleges to provide digital skills training to Nash County residents. So anyone who lives in Nash County can sign on to that program. It's free to the resident. There are about 17 online modules that the community college will help them walk through. It's a self-paced training program, so you don't have to show up, every Tuesday and Thursday at 6. It's self-paced through the community college, and at the end of the training, they'll receive a refurbished device. So usually it's a laptop that's refurbished, usually from a corporate sponsor. So I'm happy to tell you more about that. I recommend if you know anybody who needs a device, that's a great opportunity. And I can do some more research on internet hotspots as well, depending on what specifically your interest areas are there. And then on the parks, that's just another area where there are some grants for parks and pavilions. So if you could let me know where the park is and what the current state is, and I might drive out there and take a look at it before I leave today.
We haven't really, I don't think we've got that far with it yet.
Yes, I noticed you have one across the street. That's probably the Royalton Club.
That's the Dorsey
Okay.
Park, yes.
Yeah, and that seems like it's in great shape. But yeah, happy to talk more about that too. So I'm excited to have the opportunity to learn more about you guys and come out here in person. I've passed through all the time. It's my first time
Yeah,
coming to town hall.
he's been saying he wanted to come talk to us.
Yeah, we see Commissioner Lucas at all our board meetings, which is great to have.
I know, I was noticing, I read in the paper, I think it was, that Nash County was looking to set up a park between the Spring Hope and Momire
Okay.
area. I don't know if you've heard anything about that or not.
Projects like you had addressed, do they normally go through like the planning board? Are they in process, touch on this?
You mean like
Are they involved in the process?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as the town would support that, and that. Yeah, whenever we come in and do a project, if it's a grant or even if it's
Like if we come up with an idea,
yeah.
we hand it over to the planning board and they would research it and
Oh yeah.
give recommendations would be the norm.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and we try our best not to charge for any sort of assistance like that.
Just
I know you guys pay your members.
like the trash, the sidewalks, the street lights, the park or whatever.
Right, exactly. Yes, sir. And last thing I'll mention, we do have an on-call planning list. So the on-call is basically, it's a list of planning consultants who do long-range and current planning that we have pre-qualified for all of our towns and counties. Mm-hmm. So if you decide you need a comprehensive plan or something, we could actually do a parks plan for you ourselves, but if it was a comprehensive land use plan, for example, that's another situation where you want to make sure you have somebody who knows the most recent laws and regulations and has a lot of experience. And it's just the main thing they do. So we have about 4 or 5 consultants who you could call and ask for a cost estimate from without going through your own procurement process, just to sort of save you some time and trouble there.
So you're saying if we did find like the land to do the park, y'all could help us in developing a layout or plan for the park?
Yeah, we could. Yeah, we know people. We know people who sell playgrounds, people who design tennis courts, and we have our own consultants who can help us sort of conceptualize it all into a map. And the Parks and Recreation Trust Fund grant is probably the most common that towns apply for. The problem with that grant is a town like Momire and most of the towns in our region, you're not able to spend $2 million on a park. And it's a point-based system, so the towns who are spending $2 million, they're probably going to score higher because they're doing more. And it's a little frustrating for small towns sometimes, but if you have a park and if you have a project, a lot of times it's worth applying for it. I've certainly, if you don't ask for it, you won't get it. Sometimes if you apply for it, You're still not gonna get it, but at least you can improve upon it each time, and eventually you will. We have been successful in the past. Eventually you'll get some funding for your park. And those are a 50-50 match, which is another barrier. We can help you think through some opportunities for funding as well. I think the park projects are a lot of fun, especially for a town that does not have its own park currently. That might benefit you a little bit in seeking some funding. I hope that was helpful. You know, if y'all have any questions, I can always come back and do some research and follow up with Sheila. And you know, Betsy, who was planning to be here, she helps Sheila with the ARPA funding.
She does.
So
She's
you guys
great.
know.
She's a great deal. I
Yeah,
don't want to
she's
do
a-
without Betsy.
Yeah, she's kind of the technical advisor on those funds specifically. So
She's
we can always
really
talk
good.
about it.
She's very good. Yeah, I think most of our stuff I think is kind of still in the planning stage to see about cost and where we can do it at.
But we'd love to attend your planning board sometime if you'd like, and just let us know. We're around.
We sure will.
We'll give Brian a call,
Oh,
he's planning board.
Yeah, yes, sir.
That'd be great. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and I work a lot with Adam Tyson too, and I could probably.
Thank you.
Any more for Ben? Moving on to the town seal project.
I wish I had more information for you. I've had 2 conversations with the person that is heading that project up, and so far it's underway. So I will continue to
Just
Make-
keeping it
make
on
it-
the radar.
make a contact each month until we, but anyway. Hadn't been overly conversation or anything, it's just, I guess it's a battle right now to get our way up in the workstation area, so. Anyway, I'll keep you posted, sorry.
That works. Just keeping it on the radar. Moving on to the trash and recycling update. You guys got the breakdown of form responses here. Out of 141 eligible properties, 97 said they would prefer trash and recycle, 6 preferred trash only. We had 26 no responses and 14 that chose not to participate. As well as 4 businesses that were not included. So we can go back to, why am I blanking on the name of them? GFI. And, have them work up a true cost based on those numbers, if that's what the council
They're
would like to do.
still trickling in.
Or they- okay.
Responses.
And with our slow mail, kind of figured that.
Based on the concern of the letter that went out, such as Kirby brought up, and what Coastal Plain has recommended about letting the planning board be involved and go through it, is that something we need to back up and let them be a part of? And
Well, a park and a trash pickup are 2 very different things. Trash pickup's not a planning board issue, the park is.
well, I mean, he was saying normally they're involved in stuff like that.
So, I mean, where we are at this point is we have our responses enough to let GFI give us our firm number. Like I said, our allocated budget was based upon an estimate. And so we can firm it up, we can continue to ponder. But that's up to the council.
Well, since Sheila said that some responses still coming in, I know we give them a deadline, but everybody knows that those people sometimes just ignore the deadline.
And our mail is super slow.
And why don't we table it until September?
That's good.
So I need to make a motion.
Yes.
Okay, sure. I make a motion that we table the trash pickup till
Second.
September.
Any further discussion? All in favor of tabling until September, say aye. Any opposed? All right, we'll table it till September. Next is the cement slab for the sign.
I reached out to him this past week and he says he's out of town working and he just ain't, he was still planning to do it at no charge. That he would, to do that, he would have to do a local job where he could just come by and finish it off that afternoon. If we want it, prior to that, he understands. He's still willing to do it at no charge. It's just,
Pretty sure one of us needs a driveway.
Needing it and affording it is a good thing.
There you go. All right, on to violation fees. We still have no established fee schedule for, ordinance violations. And we can continue that and have no teeth behind anything. Or we can do something else.
Mayor, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Would the establishment of violations be connected with the overhaul that's in the reworking of the ordinances that is going on now by, his name, I can't remember.
Yes.
Denise, yeah. So would that be sort of done at the same time?
Until we have our new ordinance package in place, we have the old one, and at this moment in time, even with habitual violations, we have nothing that we can do about it. So that's kind of where we're sitting. We could write letters and annoy, but that's not it.
Yeah, that may be something the planning board could do. I don't know this violation fees. I think, Rob.
We could do it.
Y'all are tentatively planning to have an August meeting.
The only business we would have,
There's something come up this morning, as a matter of fact, antenna repair on the antenna over on Trestle Loop Road.
okay,
So, and we got DeLaRue,
right.
Pioneer signed
Swearing
in,
in the
and
morning.
like we talked about, if they approve those modules, you said you want us to watch the modules
Yeah,
together.
we could do the modules if that's approved.
So we do really technically have enough to have the meeting. Once you come out with violation fees, you can start talking about that with them.
I'm gonna double check with School of Government about the modules. I think they took a lot of them down. But double check, they might still be.
There is one up, it's
There's still one
$150.
Okay.
There's one that I found at School of Government, it was $150, and it said after you paid for it, they would send you a link
Perfect.
where you could share it with,
All right. Well, that plan
if you
will
can
take
find
care of
some
that
other
this
ones,
month,
that would be
hopefully.
fine, but that's
Yeah,
what I
I'll give you
found
that.
on the School of Government site.
Thank you.
So was there a date? Did I miss it?
For our meeting,
No, me and Brian were going to discuss it after the meeting,
Okay.
to see what worked out with him and try to see what worked out with everybody else.
All right, next on the agenda is our videotaping of meetings. We initially agreed to a 6-month trial run. This is our 6th month today.
One question.
Yep.
So we want to transfer the coming up with the violation fees
To the
for the tabs approval to the planning board.
And the module learning, we want to kind of table that too, right, since Ben's gonna find some more.
I think she was correct. These are new, and I just
Okay,
I'll certainly look for some more.
okay.
They can do this one first, because this one's got, I don't know.
Those seem
if
really
each-
good.
I don't know if each one of these dots is a module, or if they group them all together.
Yeah.
Said it was two episodes.
Could be.
I've got to check on that, but it
My
didn't tell
question,
me.
Sheila, was, I don't see it on the new business,
What?
that approval of the.
It's the very
That's
last
our
Oh,
last
one.
item.
Planning and zoning.
okay, I see it now. I missed that.
You're fine.
Y'all have to forgive me, I'm old.
You're fine, so you guys, any questions you want to? Sorry, Will.
No worries.
Continue.
Yeah, sorry, Will.
So on the taping of meetings, Sheila did put together, results here. We've had an average of 57.5 views per video. Obviously, we've had 2 situations where we had camera issues where I think I've got that dealt with. Those were considerably lower. We do have 12 subscribers, and we've received a lot of feedback. Positive and negative. But as I've said from the get-go, I'd rather somebody come in here and cuss me out for an hour than nobody care. So the question before the council is, do we continue?
Y'all know how I feel, I prefer we did, but that's just my personal opinion.
Now, I will point out, Brian did just reference being able to watch that video. See that planning board.
Yeah.
We've used it in ways we didn't think we would.
Right. And it kind of protects us in a way.
It does.
Well, I can honestly say that every month I've had at least, I know for sure, one phone call. And I've had comments from several people that have watched the videos.
Yeah, I have
Also.
too.
I get at least a handful of calls or emails monthly.
And I've heard several people tell me that they liked it because they weren't able to come in here and see it. Or be at the meeting and they could look at it at their leisure. There's one lady, I know she looks at it as soon as it's posted. Cause I get a phone call the next
And
day.
The planning board has been,
Yes.
what's y'all's thoughts on,
I mean, to begin with, you know, might even care for it. I mean, who wants to be videoed unless you're somebody that feels comfortable on the camera, but, you know, we're doing it now. I'm neutral on it. I mean, I'm kind of like you. I don't really want to be in
No,
the
I don't-
spot. I don't want to be in the spotlight, you know.
right,
None of us do.
But like I said, I just feel like it kind of protects us if somebody accuses us of saying something we didn't say.
well, I think, you know, and in the past, we all said we didn't prefer to be filmed, but we all voted for it, so.
Well, I'll add this. I do believe that it probably helps in the regards of people being respectful and using decorum. I will say that. I can see the side where people would be more reluctant not to voice their concerns because of knowing that somebody's gonna go back and watch it, and we all know that people will take something you say and they can read into it maybe not what you meant. So I think that's the, I'm gonna say the negative side of it.
Guess that could go either way.
It could go either way,
Works for and against.
so. It may deter openness for people, voicing what they, not really what they think, but how they feel and what they would like to see.
Well, we want to admit it or not, I think that's true. At the end of the day.
Like I said earlier, we're not all gonna agree. We all wanna see different things in the town of Lone Iron. Something somebody may want, we look at. I don't wanna see us get street lights. It's because I like it being dark at night. I lived in Nashville for 7 years. The street lights and city water.
We need to remember why we incorporated to begin with.
Right, and we're still a rural town
Atmosphere.
and agricultural base, so,
Yeah, I like seeing the stars at night.
Yeah. so that's my 2 cents worth. I guess I'll add this and I won't say anything else. I guess the taping, holds us accountability.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yeah.
So I'll leave with that.
I think for me, that standpoint is point. It needs to be well noted that I think it does hold us accountable
Right.
for
I
what
agree with you.
we say, how we say it, how we present, what we do care about. And I think we'll be more prepared to give a concise statement about any particular issue. So, some people have responded that it gives them access to this meeting, and, I think it just, I don't care to have everything taped either. I would prefer not to, but I think it's probably a necessary evil. And
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
and I think it's in our best interest to probably continue.
Yeah.
Is how I feel.
Well, if it gets to a point that it's a problem, we can change.
That's true.
So we need a motion?
We need a motion.
Alright, I make a motion that we continue videotaping the, planning board and the, town council's meetings.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor of continuing the videotaping, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We will continue. I think I've learned the technical side of it. All right, next, if you haven't noticed, I'm sure you have, the speed limit sign down at this end is out.
I had about 10 phone calls.
And Sheila went down there and tried to communicate with it, and it communicated that it was on, but it's obviously not working. She said she could see possibility of vandalism on it, but we have in your packet the repair cost that is insured.
Yes,
To a
we
point.
would, I know y'all remember back, the one that this end of the town, where after we installed it, somebody cut the wires.
Yeah.
And we had to send it in, and it was the exact same price as what it is now. And we can file an insurance claim, and the town should get reimbursed for majority of that amount.
So we'll have to pay
Right.
and get back.
Did you say it was covered under insurance?
Yes, it is. Both sides are covered.
That's the best thing we ever did.
Yes.
That was passed right after we got it installed.
So, we just need to, approve the expense of $1,382.41.
Make our motion.
Yeah. Pending our,
Approve it.
1382.41.
Second.
alright, any further discussion? All in favor of, getting the speed limit sign repaired at a cost of $1,382.41, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. It'll probably be Thursday before I go pull it down, but I'll go get it. Next is the RPO. Part of your packet. The rural planning organization is, I got several pages to read here, so if you haven't already, we might want to take a few minutes. But that basically gets us linked up with the other communities for planning purposes. And it's also, if we decide to jump into an infrastructure type project like the sidewalks or whatever, you gotta do this first.
You can't find yours?
That should be the front page.
Okay, y'all, I clipped all that stuff for y'all this time. Very organized. Trying to tomorrow, I couldn't find stuff. Did y'all not find it? Yeah.
Oh, there it is. That's it. And this is also something we could put in front of the planning board too, but ultimately the decision does lie at this table. linked to that is the sidewalk project stuff, which is, again, we were poking around getting ideas, right? Now, before we jump into this and I give you sticker shock, remember what I've been saying about these capital improvement funds. We have to set them aside for a purpose this year. That doesn't mean we have to spend them this year. Alright? We just have to set them aside for the purpose. So, just because we're looking at this right now doesn't mean we have to do it right now. We can wait 5 years if we have to. Till we got
Or
the
if ever.
funds- Yeah, until we got the funds where we want, you know? So, ready for the sticker shock?
I've already seen it, I've already looked at it. I'm not surprised.
So, we discussed, the possibility of running a sidewalk from the trailer park to, the food bank and
Who come up with the area?
Richard.
it was just
Yeah.
a suggestion from last
Yeah,
month.
Vandy kinda suggested it.
Yeah.
Vandy,
It was just a suggestion from
Well,
last
I
month.
meant to stop and start point.
Just a suggestion from last month, yeah.
that would make sense.
We
I
can
mean,
take it further if you think it needs to go further.
But I mean, that's a good start, I mean,
This-
that's a good
My
starting
opinion
point.
already is a long-term table it.
Right. It's a good starting point to go from Trestle Road to, Young Road. That's a good, that's a good.
That feeds most of your population as
Right.
well as most of your waypoints along the way. So, total cost estimate, $1.584 million.
For the sidewalk?
Uh-huh.
$1,584,000.
Thousand or million?
$1,584,000.
Sorry,
Probably
sorry.
1,000 per foot.
I'll do it for that myself.
They do have a fund through the NCD.
That,
We don't
that
need a
being,
sidewalk.
that being said,
Yeah, the
we
town
would be
would have to
responsible
pay
for
20%.
20% of that, by the
Right.
time for answers and all that, which comes to $316,800, which is a big chunk.
Exactly.
Well, that would pretty much break us.
We'd still have a couple of $100,000 sitting there. So, I think we continue to explore options. I suspect hearing the reactions around the table that that's probably gonna be fairly easy to agree on.
I agree with explore other options, but key word being other options.
So,
And I've got a recommendation for another option. Something that we used to do, we used to have a contract between the town and the fire department, fire rescue, that provide fire service. And we did that for several years, and I guess, I don't know how it got depleted, or it's still in act, I mean, we still got fire service. We just don't have the official contract like we used to do every year. I don't remember. And we did donate, we gave money to their budget. I don't think it was a set amount, but we could set amount going forward. And that could also be one of the services that town provides if we go through with this. We would have no control over what they do. The state and the county regulate that. And it wouldn't change anything about the service we get or what they provide. But it would just be a contract between the town and the fire department. And that's supporting us here at home. I would love to see that put back in place, active.
Well, I think maybe the reason it was stopped, of course, it must have been stopped before I came, because I don't remember.
Yes, it's been a long time.
But it's because you pay for it out of your county. When you pay your county taxes, you pay for the fire department. You pay a certain amount for the services the fire department provides, and that might have been why they stopped it, but I don't know, you know, if that was. But I mean, we could make a donation to the fire department because it's in Lamar,
Well, we-
and they do service us.
You know, we need to put it on a line item if we want
Right,
to do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And they've not asked for this.
No,
I just, you you indicated you think we need to have more services, and that would be a way to do it, to keep it here at home, and it has been done in the past, and I don't know where we dropped the ball and the fire department dropped the ball, it's just considered it was a done deal and it wasn't no big deal, but
Like I said, I think it was before my
officially, I'd love
time,
to see it
but
put
I
back
don't
in
know.
place, and I think it's a need. And that's something we could provide. But I want to mention again, we would have no say-so or control of anything that they do. The state and the county regulate that. And they're pretty hard. And as far as equipment and training,
So what amount?
yet to be determined, but do you remember what we used to do? I mean, and if we just put it in place and start, we could adjust going forward.
I don't remember. Sheila, could you check into
Yes,
that?
ma'am, I can check into it, let you know.
I already made a note to do that, so.
Way to go, yeah.
There's a
I
file,
figured
there's
you
a
would-
file in
Sheila
there,
was,
and,
yeah.
Georgia
We
making
did,
it back
we
in the,
did.
well, both Georgia
Oh,
and
do you remember?
used to do the books for the fire too.
That was a good while ago, wasn't
Yeah, Georgia did it for 100 years,
it?
and then Sheila took it over.
it had already been
Well,
stopped.
figure of
It
speech,
had already been stopped when I was doing it.
Right.
you ain't gotta print that.
I didn't.
Like I said, I don't, it must have been stopped before I came on, because I don't remember it.
And it's, I mean, it don't have to be
You started in
complicated.
what year, Ms. Martha?
Just.
Huh?
What year did you start?
Oh,
Both
Lord,
parties
Shirley,
signed.
You would ask me that.
Go forward.
I can't remember.
It's been a long time.
It's been
since
a
they did
while,
that.
yeah.
I want to say it was like $5,000, but
That's what I figured maybe. I don't know, but if Will and Sheila can check on it for
but
us.
while we're looking into it, just let that be a starting point.
Yeah, we can do that.
And maybe we can research and see what it was, or if we need to decrease or increase. But I would love to, I don't know where it's time for a motion or not, but.
I think we just table it till next
See
week.
what we,
Until we get some more information on the money, but I would love to see that put in place, and that could also be one of our services.
We were already considered that one of our services, don't we, Will?
yes, because it's
So it would
county
really,
provided, so
would
it
really
doesn't
help
really
us.
add to our services, but
Yeah.
it would,
So
it would
does,
just
it
look
would be
nice.
good to do.
It would just look nice. if
I'll
we
put it
supported
that
our part.
Ryan, you was gonna say?
I was just gonna say, we talking about county provided services, I guess, fire, sheriff's department, and the trash at the dump would consider, cause we all pay for that, is that considered a service?
They specifically allowed sheriff and rescue services to be county provided and did not count county provided trash service as a service of the municipality. It sounds to me like when the law was written, they had a lobby from somebody.
So what is that in the chapter 120 of the general statutes?
It's in 160A,
168.
yeah. I don't remember the exact number off the top
So
of my
they
head.
let fire and,
Fire and sheriff can be provided by county.
they let that
But
count,
other
but they
stuff
don't
can't.
let trash.
You know Waste Management had a good lobbyist.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And by the way, we got a new deputy in town, and he lives right in the middle of town. Brian's son is on the sheriff's department now,
Mhm, I heard.
so we got a little more coverage
Yeah.
right here in Mayberry.
Tell him I keep him in my prayers every
Yeah,
night.
he's got some stories already.
I bet.
Yeah.
He does.
Last item we have on the agenda is planning zoning e-modules for the planning board. Which is.
So is that something that the planning board would like?
Yes,
That need to do?
Yeah, it's,
All of them, or
well, definitely for our new members, but
is it a class
yeah,
or video?
it's a video, you watch it, you go through these
Okay.
modules and they train, you know,
Is that price a one time for all or one each?
just one time all, correct, Sheila?
Yes, that's correct.
So once we get the link, as many people can watch it.
It's
It
y'all's,
tells you that
it's
down at
y'all's
the bottom.
time, on y'all's timeline,
Yes, yeah.
but put a date when you need to have it done by maybe.
Well, what we have done in the past is we've all met here, we've handled our normal business, and the last thing we do is we watch the modules. We get as far as we can, and then at the next meeting. So it's really good, good for new members and for current members.
I'll make a motion that we pay for that. Plan board.
I second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor of signing up the planning board for the planning and zoning e-module learning, at the cost of $150, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Any further business for the council today?
Is that something that y'all provide?
What, the module?
Um,
No, we don't have anything, but we would refer to the school
Yeah.
government. Yeah, I think that's a good source.
Which I think David only retired.
I think that's why they took the old ones down, and that's why I got confused, but it sounds like they put the new ones up until 2026.
Any further business for the council today?
Can I ask Brian a question?
I'm gonna reach out to the fire department and discuss that with them, and while they gather the information on the dollar amount, and
Yeah, that was something I was gonna ask you. If you
go forward.
take care of.
She has a question for me.
Oh, I was gonna say, on these modules, are any of them new ones that you guys haven't done yet?
I didn't see the list,
Sorry, Richard. You can have that one.
No new business, do we have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
I do have one other question before everybody gets out of here.
I'd like to thank everybody that came today.
Yes,
Ms. Georgiana, did you bring your audit form for the auditor?
it's in my pocketbook.
Richard, I
Thanks
got
for
yours.
reminding me. You
Richard,
got mine?
just bring me yours.
Yeah,
You brought me yours, Richard, and Martha gave me hers.
Yeah,
Okay, I was making sure I got
I
everybody's,
did
so I've
give
got
you
to send
mine,
those in.
right? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll mail it to you or something like.
I turned in my homework.
I think you brought it to me, I believe.
Okay.
Thank you,
All right. Motion to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Never a motion, I would say.
I thought that.